Welcome back to the King's Court, or as we call it, the Bethesda Brothers podcast. I am the KingFanMan, the king of all things Bethesda. And I have a legend with me, my legendary co-host, Joey Cabs. How you doing, Joe?
Great. You got a king and you got a legend.
That's right. Together.
Let's rock and roll, baby.
You put them together, it's epic. And today we're going to talk about some pretty epic things. Number one, of course, Starfield, the brand new single-player game from BGS that is going to come out next year. Todd Howard says it's supposed to be going back to its roots in hardcore RPG. But one of the main things I want to talk about today, too, is it's in a brand new engine. And a lot of people have forgotten that. And I want to start right there talking about the Creation 2 engine, what kind of difference it's going to make in the future of BGS games. But I also want to make one point before we go any further. I've heard some people talk about why Starfield is taking so long, why it's not come out this year instead. Why do we have to wait until next year? Of course, we've got to remember COVID. I mean, that slowed down everything. But a major point here is they have built a new engine. The Creation 2 engine is, from what I understand, everything is brand new except for the editor, which has been rebuilt as well. And my point is you cannot have or work on a video game that's going to be in a new engine until you get that new engine done. So when they finished Fallout 4, it appears they began working on this new engine. Well, how long did it take for them to make that engine before they went all in on Starfield? I don't know. Did it take a year? Did it take 2 years? Did it take 3 years? I don't know. But do you think that's logical is why one of the main reasons it's taken so long?
I think there's three main reasons. That's one of them. The other one's COVID, like you said. Then there's another one, though. And it goes by the name of Cyberpunk 2077. Yep. One of the most beloved games before it was even released.
Yep.
And then it gets released, and it's now one of the most hated games. So hated to a point where they took it off the PlayStation Store. It's coming back on the PlayStation Store.
It got Fallout 76 treatment, huh?
Yeah, I think it got worse than that.
It did.
I don't think it got a lot worse than that. So I think BGS just like, all right, nail in the coffin, man. Yep. We're not releasing our game this year. Let's even if it's ready, let's take another year. Yep. Make sure that it is.
I agree 100% because me and you have talked about that if Starfield flops, Bethesda's in trouble. They've got to have Starfield.
Starfield can't flop.
It cannot flop, and I don't think it's going to.
It can't.
But this goes back to your point that they want it as right as they can get it. They don't want a 76 bug fest. Or even Fallout New Vegas bug fest. You know, they want it as good as they can get it.
Yeah, even Cyberpunk. Like honestly, like it's a great comparison because Cyberpunk had so much momentum, anticipation behind it.
Yes.
And man, did it fall from grace really quick.
Really fast. Well,
they're trying to prevent that.
What did you think of the looks of the Creation 2 engine? Because remember, and a lot of people need to understand this, that was not a cinematic trailer. It begins saying this is alpha footage in the Creation 2 engine. So it's as close to gameplay footage as you can get without getting gameplay footage.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm super excited. There was a frame in that trailer that gave me a little bit of like a Fallout vibe, a Fallout feel to it.
Do you remember which one it is? Do you remember where it is?
It was, I believe so. The protagonist, the astronaut, whatever the heck you want to call them, was walking, I think, in like down like a tunnel or something, but you were like on the outside of it looking through like a window, and it looked like to have like blood on the wall, I think, or rusted or something, like wear and tear.
Right.
Maybe that's why it gave me like a Fallout feel.
Right.
But I mean, it's in the DNA. it's in the BGS DNA, so that's not like outlandish to say.
Yeah.
But Starfield, with the brand new engine, it's exciting. I can't wait. Like what you've said, King. I feel it's going to be the next, Skyrim. That's pretty hefty to say, though, considering how successful Skyrim is. Hopefully, we won't have 20 versions of Starfield, but we might.
Well,
and another thing, King, we didn't talk about this in the other podcast that we recorded previously, but there probably won't be a mobile game for Starfield.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
That is strange. I still think they would do very good. I mean, Fallout Shelter still making money for them.
Do you think the reason why is because they don't want to give anything away and they want you to wait for the actual game?
I do.
That makes a ton of sense. Fallout was already an established franchise. It held you over for a little bit. So maybe in the next Starfield game it'll have like a companion app. But it didn't really shock me, even though we did think it was going to have a companion app. But it's interesting that they're not still. So, still interesting.
But we still may get one in the future. Who knows? One thing that I thought was really neat that Todd Howard said in an interview is they built Starfield to be played for a long time. Now, we know that every BGS game has hundreds of hours. And if you just go straight through the story, there's still, hundreds of hours. But, we're still playing Skyrim. But that's what they want. And I think they've seen that. They've seen how long that Skyrim has endured. So they want to make sure that Starfield can endure that long. They want it to last.
Yeah.
Now,
same with... Sorry, King.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Same with Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of mods in that game are incredible. New Vegas even.
I'm glad you bring up mods. You think it's going to be moddable, Starfield?
If it isn't, what? Come on, you're BGS. That's what you're known for. Of course, it's going to be. That's why Fallout is, Fallout 4, Skyrim. Like, people still talk about these games because of mods.
Yes.
Or else the games, they would be dead. Morrowind, obviously, the saving grace to Bethesda. It saved the company. All right. But no one really talks about Morrowind because you really can't do much as far as mods go. You can download mods, yes, but look at Skyrim. Wow.
Yeah.
That's why, come on. It would shock me more if Starfield does not have mods.
Do you mean make you feel good about it?
Your rebuttal, 76, it doesn't have mods. It's an online game. Starfield will not be that. So it won't have mods at launch, though. Fallout 4 did not have mods at launch either.
But let me make you feel better.
It'll be a little bit.
Did you notice, I believe it was the trailer. It's either the trailer or that Into the Starfield video. I don't remember which. It actually shows one of the devs using the creation kit in Starfield.
Yeah.
So, there's no question.
Awesome.
There's no question there's going to be mods. Yeah. Obviously, it's going to be a new creation kit because we're talking about the Creation 2 engine. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this engine because some people don't understand what we're talking about when we talk about engine. Others know really well, and we've talked about things. But they have made everything, from what I understand, brand new except for the editor, and it's been upgraded. So, it's really a totally new engine. New lighting, new graphics, new what's the term? I just went blank as I can be. New animations. Everything. Even though it still has, like you said, that DNA, everything is going to look totally different. They're doing that photographic landscapes to where the landscapes are going to look so much more realistic. I noticed the face. Did you notice the face of the guy that was in the cockpit there? It looked so much better than, say, Skyrim or Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I think this engine, since the old creation engine, you talk about Morrowind, goes all the way back to Morrowind. what is this engine going to mean not only for Starfield but for the games of the future? And I think it's going to mean a lot. I'm going to get your opinion in just a second, but that's why I believe they took those 2 or 3 years to get this engine right.
Of course. I mean, this engine is going to be used for Elder Scrolls 6. This engine is going to be used potentially for a new Fallout game in the future.
Yes.
And many other, so I mean, this engine is going to be used a lot. And it's going to be very interesting to what they can do in this engine. We'll obviously see it with Starfield. It'll be a great example. It'll set the example of what to expect for an Elder Scrolls 6. And it should really excite you that they're finally using a new engine after the fans wanting one all these years. So the Creation Engine 2, it's called, right?
Yes.
That's the engine. So, I mean...
But again, I want to stress the point. People have been screaming for a new engine, but now people are screaming, why isn't Starfield here this year? You cannot have it both ways.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, 2022 is kind of soon.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Knowing that they've done Fallout 76, created a brand new engine, and now Starfield.
Yeah, 2022 is kind of soon. So, it should really excite you. It's really not that long away. I mean, okay, we have to go through, the summer, the holidays, the summer again.
Yeah.
And
then it's
before
here.
Christmas, bang, it's here.
Yeah.
Before Turkey Day, bang, it's here. So,
and of course, next E3, we're going to learn a lot more about it as well.
Oh yeah, and that's when I feel, honestly, we failed to mention this in the last podcast. Honestly, I really do feel that it's going to be a different E3 if people are there.
Oh, absolutely.
It's gonna be so different. Bethesda's gonna have their own stage. It'll be set on prime time on like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
And if me and you are there, we'll actually get to play Starfield because they'll have a demo of it.
I want to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Some things that I noticed from the trailer and the other video that they can do now in this engine that they couldn't do before. One quick thing: did you notice the little robot that walks by the ship and waves at you? That's going to be your companion in Starfield, kind of like Dogmeat is, which is kind of cool. Yep,
that's cool. I didn't notice it.
Yeah, but
wow.
Obviously we're gonna have spaceships that fly. That's vehicles in a Bethesda game or a Bethesda Game Studios game has always been a taboo because their engine couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Also, it's obvious there's going to be multiple planets because they actually showed multiple planets in the trailer. And then Todd Howard said, of course, the most important thing about Starfield is going to be exploration. And some of those pictures, the art that they showed, the cities look humongous, and there's all different kinds of cities. And of course, Todd Howard did say these cities are going to be bigger than anything they've ever done before. So think about a Whiterun or a Markarth or something like that, tripled in size. That is what it looks like. But if you notice in those pictures, there's a desert region, there's a snowy region, there's a jungle. You see the guy walking through a jungle. There's a real modernistic city-looking one. There is one that's out on the water that's supposed to be New Atlantis. So, I mean, there's the places that we're going to get to explore in Starfield are going to be amazing, and a lot of it is because of this new engine. It's like Todd Howard said, they are now able to make the game they always wanted to make.
That's so exciting.
Yes.
And Matt, think about it like this, though, because Starfield is going to set the tone. Mm-hmm. He's going to set the tone. It's going to set the tone for future games.
Yes.
I know I've already said this, but it's going to set the tone for what to expect in an Elder Scrolls game. It's like, okay, this is a game that Todd Howard and his people have always wanted to make. Well, then Yeah, obviously he loves the Elder Scrolls franchise. That's his baby. So imagine what he's going to do with the Elder Scrolls franchise if he has all the tools at his disposal to make a game that they want and that they envision. Same with Fallout. He loves Fallout. So it's just it really should excite you for the future of BGS and what we could see. Starfield will set the tone. And if Starfield hits a home run, my goodness, Elder Scrolls 6, you should be excited for that. And a new Fallout as well.
Hey, I cannot wait to see better faces and the lips lining up with the words. And that's going to be, again, part of this new engine. Think about the difference between the faces and the bodies in Oblivion to Skyrim.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And that's the same engine. Well, now, just imagine the difference between Fallout 4 and what Starfield's going to be. Again, we haven't seen the characters talking and all that, but just looking at the face there in that trailer, there's so much more detail than the previous, say, Skyrim or Fallout 4. So landscapes are going to be different and better because they're that photorealism. I can't remember.
Photorealistic engine or something.
Yep.
Photorealistic. I know exactly what
the characters and bodies are going to be more realistic. And again, that what we saw there in that trailer was just the alpha version of it. So I can't wait to see the final product. And I honestly think it's going to be a not more successful, but a bigger game than Skyrim or Fallout 4. I think it's going to be the biggest BGS game we've ever seen. I think it's going to have the most content and the most hours. And as far as success, I again, unless something crazy happens with bugs and that kind of thing, I believe that Starfield is going to be bigger than Fallout 4 was.
Yeah, I mean, think about how much money this game might do at launch. They're going to market it right. It's going to be done correctly.
And me and you have been talking about this for a year, that they're going to have more marketing for, you know, this was one of my big things. They're going to have more marketing for Starfield than Fallout or the Elder Scrolls because it's a brand new IP and a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah, and Fallout 4 did $750 million within 24 hours. Man, imagine, I mean, now it's just on Xbox, so who knows? And then Game Pass, who knows? So I think I'm going to backtrack a bit and retract my my upcoming comment. But Starfield, man, it's everybody should be excited. I really wonder how much it's going to improve the Xbox Series X sales.
Well,
just Starfield, Halo, Starfield. I really wonder how much can impact them.
A lot. One thing, talking about sales, what do you think about, of course, it's exclusive to Xbox, and it's going to be on Game Pass day one. That's got to hurt the sales of the individual game Starfield. So you think about how much do you think Game Pass and it being an exclusive is going to hurt the sales? How can it reach the numbers of Fallout 4 being an exclusive and day one Game Pass?
I won't say no, but it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
You're talking about hitting $1 billion. Somebody like me, I mean, no, let's face it. I'm going to want the collector's edition. Yeah. You're going to have my money anyway.
By the way, I think you see the collector's edition in the trailer. You know, there's a little box. And inside that box is going to be a watch.
I wonder how much that's going to
$150, kind of like the helmet.
You think so? A steak and watch with
a box.
Yeah. A little box.
But they'll give you a keychain too. You know,
the most expensive keychain that you'll ever buy.
Just my opinion on Starfield. I don't believe day one sales are going to be as big as Fallout 4 because of, as I said, Game Pass and exclusive. But what I think what's going to happen with Starfield is kind of what happened with Skyrim. Skyrim's popularity just started growing and growing and growing. It was big at launch, but everybody heard, hey, this is an awesome game, so other people started buying it. Other people, and I think that's what's going to happen with Starfield. I think it's going to be such a massive and great game that people are going to buy it that maybe have never played a BGS game before, but everybody's talking about it.
Let me ask you this. So Xbox Series X optimized games, they go for $70.
Yep.
So how much money do you think Starfield will be? Will it be $70? Or will it be $60? I'm really wondering, because it's only going to be on the Series X, right? Not even on the Xbox One, right? Or am I wrong?
I'm not sure if it will be able to be. I think
just Series X and S.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be able to be played on the others or not. I haven't heard.
No, yeah, I don't think so.
No.
So will they put it at 70? I'm curious to see that, if that's the case.
If you just,
and then maybe,
if you just want my opinion, I think they will. And that's because you can
honestly,
still look at Skyrim and games like that on the Switch, and they're still $70. They're still 54 or whatever it is.
If you Game Pass is $15 a month, and you also get gold with it. So what's the better deal? Dropping $70 on a game, or spending $15 a month and you get a full library?
Well, you know what both of us are gonna do? We're gonna
collector's editions.
Plus, we're gonna have Game Pass too.
They're making a ton of money off of us. And listen, you could put Game Pass on your Xbox and your PC, because that's what I have.
Yes.
So.
And I'm gonna use it especially for my PC, since I do most of my streaming and stuff that way. Well,
you should get it now.
I know it. I got to. My money's a little short right now, but I'm going to do it very soon. Well, guess what, Joe? We're out of time already. It goes so fast. It does.
No. I've been screaming for the past hour and a half. Just screaming at you, talking on this podcast. This is my original home. This was my parents' old home. We recently bought my parents' old home, so I'm back actually in my old bedroom.
Wow.
For those couple of years I was out of here, my neighbors, they were probably like, wow, it's really quiet over there. Now they have this little big loud Italian just screaming again.
Joe's back.
They want to go to sleep. Joe's here, But hey, I loved it, King. Thank you for having me on, man. It's been a pleasure. Always is a pleasure. And watch my podcast too.
Please,
I just posted one.
We'll
post it.
Go check out Joey Caps's channel and subscribe if you haven't, because he does great content. Well,
please.
Anything else you want to say about the Creation 2 engine or Starfield?
No, just that the future is super-duper bright for BGS games.
It is.
And Starfield will set the tone for that.
Yep.
So
it's not going to be a Cyberpunk. It's going to be a Skyrim. That's my prediction. I really think so. Yeah.
Let's hope it's not a Cyberpunk. No one wants that.
No. Well, thank y'all for watching the Bethesda Brothers. We appreciate it so much. We thank you for all your support. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done all three. It sure helps these videos out. I am the KingFanMan. He is the legendary Joey Caps. We will see you next week. Bye, guys.